All right, welcome to the overview of United Games. I'm a bottom line kind of person, so we're going to start with the bottom line. What is United Games? Well, essentially it's this. The man responsible for making Madden football the #1 game in the world has teamed up with United Games to make a new game. Except for this time, it's an app, and it's free. And it allows you to play along live with your favorite teams during live sporting events. It's fun, it's engaging, and it rewards you for being a true fan. And this app is going to launch in the fall of 2016. So why do you care? Why do you care about this right now? Well, first of all, you're going to want to play it because it is a lot of fun, and it's going to change the game in a positive way. It's going to engage you, and it's going to allow you to be the fan you've always wanted to be and engage your social network with you as you watch games. But the second reason you want to know about this right now is because we're willing to pay you to share this app with others and to play it. That's right. We're willing to pay you to share and to play. Why on earth would we do that? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, the app market in general is exploding. As of 2015, over 100 billion apps have been downloaded. In the next 2 years, it is proposed that there will be over 268 billion apps downloaded. And that should resonate two things with you. One, this is a very, very good place to be. The app world is exploding. It's generating billions of dollars of revenue, and it's a massive, massive explosion in the marketplace where everybody's attention is. That should be a market you want to be a part of. But the second reason that should mean something to you is because if there are that many apps and that many downloads, then how do you get an individual app to rise above the crowd? How do you get it to rise above all the noise of all the apps that are out there? Well, there's a lot of different ways to do this. One of them is significant amounts of advertising revenue. Look at a game that's quite popular right now like Candy Crush. Candy Crush has over 500 million downloads, but it didn't get there by accident. Candy Crush has spent over $5 million a month in advertising revenue in order to get their app to rise above the fray with all of the other apps in the App Store. Do we want to pay $5 million in revenue per month to generate interest in our app? Or would we rather pay that money to individuals who have an opportunity to share the app with those around them and play along with those around them to enjoy the experience themselves? Well, we've decided to pay you or anyone interested in sharing this app with others in order to get the word out about this app and to encourage people to not only download it and play along, because it truly is the better way to play. Now, with this opportunity comes the chance to be a part of something very, very special. This app is designed to be a worldwide app. It's designed to create a sports experience that goes beyond the most popular sports. Take, for example, the fact that basketball and football are usually the only two sports talked about when it comes to fantasy sports, which has become very popular. But fantasy sports have a couple of negatives. First of all, there's a lot of people that feel like it's gambling. Second of all, it's very, very difficult to win. And it's hard to put competitive people into an environment where they lose almost 100% of the time. Now, if you take that and say, what would be the better way to play? The better way to play would be to create an in-game environment where everyone can play and everyone is rewarded for their individual efforts while still creating a competitive environment for people to play along with those that they enjoy playing with. To create a social environment where you can actually communicate with the people that you're enjoying the game with. That would be the better way to play, and that is exactly what's coming. And I'm excited tonight because tonight we actually have the game maker himself on the line with us. Mr. Mark Monge comes from EA Sports. He doesn't like to brag about himself a little, so I'm going to brag about him for you. When Mark came to EA Sports, he was first handed the NASCAR game. NASCAR game wasn't even on the map of games, but Mark took that game over and it became the #1 car racing game in the world and actually destroyed the competition. He was then handed Madden football, and he did the exact same thing, and over a 4-year period of time rose Madden football to the #1 game in the world and again destroyed the competition. So if you were going to make a sports game app and you wanted it to be a real game experience, not just a typical spreadsheet experience like you find in fantasy sports, but a true game experience, who would you have build that for you? You'd have the #1 game maker in the world build that for you, and that's exactly who is partnered with United Games. So, Mark, you're on the line with us here?
Yes, I am. Happy to be here.
Thanks, Mark. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. With your vast experience with EA Sports and truly working with the #1 games in the world, can you tell me what gets you excited to work on this particular project?
Well, when I worked on Madden, NASCAR, and these North American sports titles, the market really was United States. I did have some small involvement with FIFA Soccer, working on the interface, which was a global reach sport, but I really haven't been able to have that opportunity to design a game that is going to penetrate a worldwide audience at all demographic levels. So that's really exciting for me. Also, to build a game that's going to be helping the little guy, in this case, affiliates, to make money, build a business, and really impact people's personal lives at a business and family level, that's also really exciting for me. We have a great, diverse team that are building this product, and I really haven't had the opportunity before to sort of work arm in arm outside of my niche game industry before with other business professionals, salespeople, marketing people, and having that daily contact with many, many different kinds of people is really invigorating. Also, it's great to build a product that's not controlled by some mega corporation. EA Sports is owned by Electronic Arts, which has 5,000 employees, but the shareholders pull the strings, and the money behind that game is driven by corporate interests and not by the man in the street. They try and design for the end user, but ultimately a corporation is making the decisions and you're answerable to them. So that freedom of designing something that truly is empowered by the end user, by the people, in a dynamic way as we're building it, is great. And the last thing, it's fun to make a game that's going to be more enjoyable and more enjoyable by more people. Madden and these games that I worked on really were designed for kind of a niche game player, game fan audience that's fairly small considering people in the world. Madden football is designed for a certain niche of hardcore football player, which is about 15 or 20% of the game playing public. So it's really great to make a game that lots and lots of people, from soccer moms to teenagers to old retired folks, they're all going to enjoy this game.
Perfect. So as you talk about that, Mark, help us understand a little bit. I mean, we talk a lot about how this is truly the better way to play. You've also been around a lot of fantasy and around a lot of other, like you said, niche game style games. Why do you think this is truly going to be the better way to play?
Okay, well, the premise for the game really, and Jeff was the mastermind behind that, is to get a full involvement of the entire demographic audience. So if you take a look at your family, you'll be able to play with your grandmother, your teenagers, your mom. It's just going to have that sort of easy to play, simple mechanic that anyone can pick up really quickly. So that uncomplicated, simple gameplay style is going to be a better way than some of these very complex sports games. We've seen how some casual games, Candy Crush and the like, very simple puzzle style games have become incredibly popular. That really hasn't happened in the world of sports game playing. No one's built a really simple, fun, easy to use sports-based game. Also, it's a better way to play because it's social in a positive way. If you've ever played games like Candy Crush or some of these online social games, they force you to spam those people in your Facebook network and your social network in unideal ways. And we don't intend to do that. We want to make this a great experience that people can share in a natural way without, forcing the game to spam those people you like and trust. Also, the focus is on your sports team, unlike fantasy where you have to become familiar and actually choose players for your team from other sports teams. That whole concept just doesn't sit well with the average person who wants to support their own team and become focused on the success of their own team. And so that central idea behind supporting your own team is a key part of this. And then it's a better way to play because, like I said, it's family friendly. there are very few games that reach the entire worldwide audience and can impact it in a game style like this.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Mark, for coming online with us for just a moment tonight. I want to address something that you said. It's a fascinating thing, fantasy. In a moment, I'm going to introduce you to one of the CEOs and owners of this company, as well as the man behind the entire idea, Jeff Henderson. But one of the things that led to the direction we're going is the discovery and discussion of fantasy sports. See, fantasy sports has emerged, but interestingly enough, less than 20% of Americans play fantasy sports, while 92% of Americans consider themselves sports fans. So what we looked at was not trying to come out and be the same as everybody else, not trying to create a fantasy game that's the same as everybody else. But we wanted to understand, why is there a gap? If we have 92% of people are sports fans, and they enjoy watching sports, and they participate in sports, and they enjoy the social camaraderie and the competitive nature of sports, why aren't they playing fantasy? A great deal of market research was done to understand why people play fantasy, why they don't play fantasy, and our goal was to truly create an experience that took away the negatives of fantasy, kept all of the positives, and brought all of the reasons why people don't play to the table so that we could create a game that everyone could enjoy and that will attract the masses. And we truly believe we have the answer, and it is the better way to play. Now, the reason this can impact you so significantly is that, again, we are willing to offer affiliates, an exclusive group of affiliates, the opportunity to share this app and get paid when people play, and to invite people to play. Now, this is a unique experience because it's not an expensive product. It's a free app. Now, you ask, how in the world do you make an income when we invite and share a free app? Well, let me give you some surprising statistics. Apple, the iTunes store in general, the App Store, if you were to look at the aggregate revenue collected from that Apple store, 91% of all revenue came from free apps downloaded. Now, how did that happen? It comes really through something called in-app purchases, where people will pay 99 cents or $1.99 or $2.99 occasionally to purchase in-game currency or in-game value that enhances their game experience. It also comes from something in the app world called the freemium experience. In this situation, a player, instead of paying their own 99 cents, would click on an ad where an advertiser is offering the in-game currency for clicking to view their ad. So, for example, if I need a token to play a game, I can pay 99 cents to get my token, or I can click on the ad and the advertiser will supply my token in exchange for me watching their advertisement. This freemium style of play is generating massive revenue. If you look at some of the top revenue generating apps right now, they are games. And those games are using freemium style play to generate substantial revenue. Candy Crush, as the example we've been using, generates between $500,000 and $1 million per day in freemium ad click revenue. Clash of Clans, another very popular game, generates $1.5 million per day in freemium revenue. Now, the advantage for you as an affiliate in this situation is this. You get paid when someone clicks to get a token if you've shared the app with them. Now, that you get paid whether they put their own credit card on the line or whether they click a freemium ad. So where is the bulk majority of your paycheck coming from? Truly, it's coming from billion-dollar ad conglomerates who are spending a great deal of money to reach the end consumer. But it's coming from in-game benefits that players are enjoying, an entertainment experience. Some are paying their own money, some are using advertisers' money to enjoy their experience, but it's a win-win-win situation for all parties involved. And you can imagine how valuable it would be for someone like a Papa John's, for example, to be able to offer a token to a player for clicking on a hot and ready pizza ad when they know that that player is watching a live sporting event. That is their target market. So this is a win-win-win situation for everyone involved. Now, as players play, the way it works is we are not fantasy. We do not have giant jackpots of money sitting there where you pay big money to get in and you stand a very tiny little chance of winning big money in the end. That's not our game. That's fantasy. And if you love fantasy, keep playing it. But when you want to play a live sporting event and make it a social and fun experience, come play with us as well. When you play with us, you earn points. Those lifetime achievement and loyalty points are earned as you play the game. As you do well in the game, the better at the game you are, the higher your point value. The more you share, the more you invite others to play, and the more you create a social culture, the higher your point value. And as you earn these lifetime achievement points, then you get recognized as you hit benchmarks of achievement. And those benchmarks of achievement come with awards. Things as small as T-shirts and hats, all the way up to signed footballs and helmets from teams, basketballs, up to travel and tickets to games. And these types of rewards are given as you hit individual benchmarks. Now, what's the value to you is when the person next to you gets that benchmark, it doesn't stop you from getting it. Each and every person has the opportunity to be on their own personal journey inside of this app to reach awards and rewards for what they're doing. But again, you can play for free, or you can purchase in-app purchases, or you can use the freemium model. And that is how you will get money. You will get paid if you choose to be an affiliate and you choose to share this app and invite people to play. Each time you share the app and someone downloads that app and they play, you get paid. And as you invite them to play the games, you get paid again. Now, the unique nature of this is that the concept behind an affiliate base, many people have asked us, why have an affiliate base? Why not use the advertising? Well, we could. But an interesting statement has been made by looking at the ad space or the app space in general. While a game like Candy Crush has 500 million downloads, Facebook has 1.3 billion. And what's the difference? Ad reach can only go so far. But people can take your game anywhere in the world. And that is exactly what we propose to do, is put the power of this app that's in a category like sports that has the widest demographic adoption of any category in the world, put it in the hands of the people. Let them play together. Let them enjoy the experience together and reward them for it. And that's exactly what we've decided to do. And it's a simple thing. If you're not interested in being an affiliate, that's okay. We only need a certain number of affiliates, truthfully, to get the spread happening, because what happens is players are rewarded for sharing the app as well. So once the ball gets rolling, we are just fine. But we are looking to give an opportunity to this exclusive group of affiliates who wants to be a part of that spread. Typical statistics in the app industry show that if a person has a positive experience with an app and is rewarded for sharing, they'll share with an average of about 7 people. So if we get our first 1,000 people to download the app, that could turn into 7,000, which could turn into 49,000, which could turn into 500,000, and it happens very, very quickly. And that is the model that we're looking at here. And we want to reward you if you help us start that model. What does it cost to get involved? It's a one-time cost of $29.99. And then there is a $10 technology subscription fee if you are an affiliate that comes as well. So that's a one-time cost of $29.95 and then $10 a month. And no charges come to any affiliates until the app actually launches in the fall. But the reason we're talking to you now is to give you an opportunity to create strategies, concepts, and ideas, as well as teams of affiliates, if you so desire to actually create the greatest possible spread of the app for you, giving you the greatest possible potential for revenue. Now, that is our strategy, and we invite you to participate if you would so desire. I have one final guest with me here today that I'm very excited could be with us, Jeff Henderson, who is the CEO of United Games and is the owner of this company, and also the person who truly had the vision from the beginning for what this could be, is here with us tonight. And I just want one question for you, Jeff, is what do you see the vision of this is, and what's your hope for the people on the line that choose to be affiliates with us?
Well, thanks, Natalyn. I won't repeat exactly what Natalyn just said. She explained it very well, but my vision is that you can play a game with your family and have a social environment where you actually enjoy sports as a fan, and you get rewarded for sharing. I think it's really the nature of sports. If you talk to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, that's the most important thing. That's all they have. The steel worker, that's all they have is their team. And there's a great loyalty with that. And so it brings community, it brings people together. It's a positive thing in the world today that is good-natured and can be a positive influence for many people and reward people for doing good. And so that was my vision. I've been privileged to put a team together that's extremely talented in both the industry of gaming and the affiliate network, and I think the synergy has been magic, and I'm excited, and it goes faster and faster every day. And I've never talked to anyone, honestly, that has not liked this idea. I've never had one person tell me they didn't like the idea. And it's fun, it's easy, and I'm excited for the ride.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks for joining in. Hopefully that gave you a good overview of United Games, who we are, what we stand for, where we're headed, and what your involvement with United Games can be if you so choose. Thank you very much.